What are you doing? You're a terrible daughter-in-law. I had just thrown out the expensive dress my husband sent for our daughter's school entrance ceremony. My mother-in-law glared at me and raised her voice. Is this why? I showed her something that was in the dress. Her face turned pale in an instant. Even if it's a famous luxury brand, there's no way I'm putting my precious daughter in this. My husband probably meant it as a surprise gift, but this was a big failure. Instead, I learned a shocking truth he was hiding. I'll never forgive him. Clutching my fist, I vowed to take revenge on my husband. I'm Emily, 34 years old. For many years, I worked as a pastry chef. 8 years ago, I quit my job to marry Ethan, who's 2 years older, and a corporate worker, and became a housewife, living with his parents. Now we're a family of 5, including our soon-to-be elementary school daughter, Lily, who is 6 years old. Though we get along well with my in-laws, I realized for the first time after our marriage that my husband is a mama's boy. He wore the tie, socks, and pants chosen by his mother every day. Not just that, he always let his mom pick his clothes, ignoring my opinion. Although I had some complaints about him, he always made family time a priority during his days off, and I felt relatively happy. However, about 6 months ago, my husband started going on business trips twice a week, and even on his days off, he started going out alone, returning home late. One Sunday, despite our plans, he went out. He told his mother it was for a business meeting, but he didn't tell me anything. Where did Dad go? Lily, I'm sorry, Dad said he had to work. What? He said today was his day off. I felt sorry for Lily, who was visibly disheartened with tears in her eyes. My husband, unaware of Lily's feelings, came home past midnight humming a tune. Did you forget you were supposed to go out with Lily? She was really sad, you know. Then why didn't you take her somewhere? I had a work thing. It can't be helped, he yelled back, his face turning bright red. He's the type to keep harping on something once he gets angry, so I had no choice but to swallow my words and endure it. Not only that, but as the day for our daughter to start elementary school approached, he showed no interest whatsoever. Hey Dad, I want to wear a pink dress for the entrance ceremony. Okay. Despite our daughter speaking to him, he didn't even make eye contact and continued to laugh loudly at the TV. Dad, are you even listening to me? Huh? Yeah, you want a dress, right? I'll buy it for you, okay? Really? Yay! Thank you! Seeing our daughter happily pinky swear with her dad, I felt relieved. However, he never brought up the subject again. As the entrance ceremony day approached, I started to get worried. Then a package for our daughter arrived at our home. The sender was my husband, so I was relieved that he remembered. However, upon closer inspection, the handwriting on the delivery label was clearly not his. It must have been written by someone at the store. Although I felt a bit uneasy, I convinced myself it was okay. Our daughter came home from kindergarten and was thrilled to open the package when I handed it to her. Yay, is it a pink dress? My mother-in-law watched Lily with a smile on her face. However, the expression on her daughter's face clouded over as she saw what was inside. What? Why? It was a navy blue dress. She just stared at it frozen. Lily, you're so lucky. This is from a famous brand. Your dad really has good taste. My mother-in-law said, looking pleased with the dress in contrast to my daughter's gloomy face. When I took the dress out of the box, the price tag was still attached. $1,500. Even though it was supposed to be a gift. That's just unthinkable, even for a gift for our daughter. He promised to buy me a pink dress, our daughter said, clearly disappointed in the gift from her dad, her face on the verge of tears. Lily, this dress might not be pink, but it's very cute. Just then a piece of paper fluttered down from the dress. I spotted a note addressed to Emily. My heart racing, I quickly picked it up. When I discreetly read the contents to my dismay, it was a letter from my husband, Ethan's mistress. Congratulations on your enrollment. I prepared this outfit on behalf of busy Ethan. Please divorce him soon. Sincerely, Grace. The handwriting matched the one on the delivery slip, meaning Ethan probably had her arrange the gift. This sent a surge of anger coursing through me. My rage intensified when I found something else enclosed with the letter. Are you kidding me? We don't need this crap. Seeing my daughter's sad face as she put the dress back in the box, I immediately tossed the dress and the box into the trash can. That's when my mother-in-law started yelling at me. What are you doing? You're such a terrible daughter-in-law. As mother-in-law glared at me with a menacing look, I couldn't stay silent. Mother-in-law, how about this? I showed the irate mother-in-law the letter from Ethan's mistress, and her face went pale. What is this? What has Ethan done? Mother-in-law was at a loss for words and sank to the floor. No wonder, as she had been shown something shocking. Mother-in-law, are you okay? Yes, I'm sorry, Emily. Her shoulders shaking, mother-in-law was visibly distressed and her eyes filled with tears. I'm never forgiving Ethan. I resolved to take revenge on my husband. That night, after confirming that both my daughter and husband were asleep, I tried to look at Ethan's locked phone for evidence of his affair. He's so naive, thinking a locked phone will keep him safe. Gently moving my snoring husband's arm, I used his fingerprint to unlock the phone. When I opened the contacts, I quickly found Grace, thanks to her having written her name in the letter. The phone was filled with couple pictures and WhatsApp messages between Ethan and Grace. First, I transferred all the images to my computer. Then I set up my computer to monitor their future WhatsApp conversations. You better brace yourself. Finally, I was able to get some sleep. The next day after Ethan went to work, mother-in-law readily agreed when I consulted her about a plan. We decided to execute the plan on mother-in-law's birthday, which was 5 days away. My husband had 2 days off starting the day before, so it looked like luck was on our side. He had no idea I had seen his messages with the other woman. I chose not to confront him just yet. You can have your fun now, but it won't last long. I bought the pink dress my daughter Lily had been wanting and told her, "It's a gift from Dad." She was ecstatic, twirling in her new dress and saying, "I look like a princess." It put a big smile on my face. The day before D-Day. My husband seemed preoccupied with his phone all morning, hardly listening when I spoke to him. "Ethan, staring at your phone all the time will tire your eyes." Mother-in-law snatched the phone out of his hand in a flash, leaving him panicking. "Wait, Mom, I might get a call from work. Give it back." "Nope, I'm keeping it until my birthday. Don't worry, I'll give it back if it rings." "Oh, man." Mother-in-law winked at me while patting the grumbling Ethan on the head. "How about it, Ethan? Will you run an errand with me?" "I'd really like to take it easy on my day off," he mumbled in response, but ended up going out with mother-in-law anyway. During that time, I impersonated my husband and sent a specific message from his computer. Once I confirmed the reply, I immediately deleted the exchange. All right, everything's set. Just waiting for the main event now. The next day finally arrived. Mother-in-law's birthday. The lively party kicked off, and as I lit the candles on the cake, Ethan started singing "Happy Birthday" while clapping. Both mother-in-law and Lily looked delighted. Just as we were enjoying a pleasant meal, the doorbell rang. I quickly went to answer it. When I opened the door, the person standing there grinned smugly without any hint of surprise. "We have a guest." "Ooh." Seeing the person I brought into the living room, Ethan was visibly shaken. "Grace, what are you doing here?" I can understand why my husband is shocked. The last person he'd expect to see here, his mistress, is standing right in front of him. "Ethan, you look so good." I mean... Sweating profusely, my husband watched as she boldly handed gifts to my father-in-law and mother-in-law. "Father, Mother, and Emily, nice to meet you all." "Oh, you must be Lily. Pleasure to meet you." She extended her hand to our daughter, Lily, who stared back at her with a puzzled look. "Excuse my asking, but what's your relationship with Ethan?" "Oh, I'm Ethan's..." "She's my subordinate." My husband interrupted, raising his voice to cut her off. That's when my father-in-law cleverly took Lily outside. Once he sent Lily away, my husband was visibly restless, still staring at his mistress. "Why are you so jittery? She's someone you work with, right?" "Yeah, but why are you here?" "What? You're the one who invited me." She pulled out her phone and displayed a WhatsApp message in front of him. "What? I didn't send the message." "What does this mean?" You see, on the day my mother-in-law took my husband away, I impersonated him and sent a fake message to his mistress saying, "I want to introduce you to my parents on my mom's birthday." After confirming her reply, "I'm happy, looking forward to it," I immediately deleted the messages. "I called both of you here because we need to talk." "What are you thinking? Do you want to ruin Mom's birthday?" "Be quiet, I approved it, so no complaints." Both my husband and his mistress froze when they heard my mother-in-law's words. I then showed them a printout of their WhatsApp conversation. "You said you were on a business trip that day, right? Then why were you at her house?" I was getting her help with some paperwork. What's the big idea?" I almost laughed at my husband's desperate excuse. "Look closely here. It says, 'It's fine to stay over as long as you tell Emily it's a business trip.' You sent this, didn't you?" "Ugh, stop being so nosy, snooping through my WhatsApp. You're the worst." When my husband was unable to argue with me and was as upset as he could be, I slammed a two-shot photo of him and his unfaithful partner on the table. It was a picture of them hugging each other without a stitch of clothing on. Whoa, no need to go this far." Scrambling to hide the photo, he's flustered. Meanwhile, his mistress smirks at me. I ignore her and continue. That's not all. I show him a letter from his mistress included with a dress meant for our daughter's school celebration. His face turns pale almost instantly. "So what? It's just an affair. You even involved Grace. You're insane." Looking at my unapologetic husband, my anger turns to disbelief. "Oh, really? Then what is this?" I reveal the ultrasound image of a baby included with her letter. He stares at it and sighs deeply. So, you did send a message saying I'll divorce Emily and let's raise a child together, didn't you? He looks down, speechless. Grace, his mistress, can't help but chuckle at his silence. How many months pregnant are you, Grace? Huh? Oh, 5 months. That's odd. The date on the ultrasound is over a year ago. If it were true, the baby would be crawling by now. What do you mean? My husband looks at Grace, bewildered. She glares at me, biting her lip. So, Grace, were you lying about being pregnant? It's your fault, Ethan. You said you'd divorce Emily, but you haven't. Crying, she lashes out at him, but for some reason he grins contemptuously. So you're not pregnant. Ah, what a relief. We're done, Grace. What? You promised to divorce Emily and marry me. Did I? Well, I can't trust you anymore after this lie. Are you going to make me the bad guy here? Don't mess with me. My husband dodges her attempt to grab him and hides behind my mother-in-law. Thinking this man is my husband makes me feel pathetic. Emily is the only one for me. Now that I know Grace was lying about the pregnancy, let's continue living happily like before. What are you talking about? That's just not gonna happen. Here, sign this. I was so over it, I didn't even have the energy to be angry anymore. I handed my husband the already filled out divorce papers. No, Mom, help me out here. Emily just doesn't get it. My husband, now resorting to a whiny tone, pleaded with his mom. It made me nauseous. Ethan, enough is enough. You're a grown man clinging to your mother. It's shameful. The mom's always on my side, right? No! Where do you see a mother defending her cheating son? Sign these papers now. Hurry up. Cornered by mother-in-law, Ethan, the mama's boy, reluctantly signed the divorce papers. They're happy now, he said, pouting. Just signing isn't the end of it. I'm seeking $20,000 in settlement money and $500 monthly child support from you in the divorce. What? I can't afford that. There's no way I can pay. Can't you cut me some slack? My husband flailed his arms and legs like a child having a tantrum. We dragged him out of the house with a little help from mother-in-law. The next day, I filed the divorce papers in court. I'm seeking settlement money and child support from my husband and $15,000 from his affair partner. Turns out, Ethan got disowned by mother-in-law and lost his home. He's now doing grueling manual labor just to get by. His affair partner had to borrow money from a shady loan shark to pay me, and now works as a nightclub hostess to pay off our growing debt. Meanwhile, I continued to live in Ethan's family home at the strong urging of my daughter and mother-in-law. At Lily's entrance ceremony, father-in-law, mother-in-law, and I were in attendance. My daughter, wearing a pink dress, looked very happy. I am now working as a pastry chef, living each day fully despite the hustle and bustle. I'll continue to balance both work and family, doing my best for everyone.